in here use GPS on their phones to get places? I would literally be lost without my phone. Here's my question. Is there anyone in here who sleeps with their phone? Be honest. I do too. Husband one side, phone the other. Not quite sure which one I can't do without yet. I promise to take everything that I've heard about social media and put it on a shelf. I am open. I am open. I am open. Okay. So we're going to look at the 3 best social networks for disaster preparedness, okay? Now, are there many social networks? Of course there are. There are literally thousands. But you can't be on all of those social networks. Just like you're not a member of 20 professional organizations, you should not attempt to join all of these just because someone tells you you should be there. There are some that are going to be better suited for some people in this room than others. So again, we're going to look at Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I have a somewhat alarming, possibly disturbing piece of information for you. Out of the 6 billion people on the planet, 4.8 billion own a mobile phone and only 4.2 billion own a toothbrush. So more people have mobile phones than toothbrushes, which means that more people can actually access social media, even without internet, it's possible, and we're going to talk about that, than actually are able to brush their teeth. So hopefully what we can do is also get them some dental hygiene information via their mobile phones, okay? Here's something else interesting for you. So 33% of Facebook users update the platform using a mobile device. Of that, only 4% of those use an iPhone and 5% use an Android phone. What does this mean? This means that 2/3 of the people that are using social media via their phone don't have a smartphone. They don't have internet on their phone. And that's okay, because there are many ways to use it via text messaging. How many people in here knew that you could update social networks with text messaging? Raise your hand. How many people in here knew that you could receive updates from Twitter without having a Twitter account and without having any type of internet access, just via SMS? Did anybody know that? So this becomes really important to you all in the room, and we're going to get into the specifics on that, because what this means is that if you're trying to get information out in an emergency, it doesn't matter if the people that you're trying to reach have internet access. It doesn't matter if they have Twitter accounts. You can still get information out to them via that form in case of an emergency. That's what we're going to take a look at. How many people in here know that the key to being successful in business is building great relationships? Raise your hand. So if you become a resource and not just someone that your clients are doing business with, they're going to look at you differently. I'll give you an example. So I'm following the tornado conference on Twitter this morning, okay? And it just so happened there's a gentleman in the room tweeting, and he represents the insurance company that my family's used for 4 generations. And he put a tweet up about how you should wear a helmet in a tornado because over 50% of injuries happen, as head injuries. I didn't know that. That's useful information. And so while it seems like a small thing, keep in mind the next time a hurricane or tornadoes or anything like that are coming, now I have this in the back of my mind. I know to grab some bike helmets as we go and get into our shelter. That's huge. Now, how do you think I feel about this person and this company that my family has already been with for so long? They've given me a life-saving tool. And on top of that, I'm now going to go and share that with more people via social media, crediting this person. Think about if this is you. Think about how that makes people feel when you become that resource, okay? Here's another alarming statistic for you. People are 3 times more likely to watch a 30-minute infomercial than they are to read a 1,500-word article. It's actually expected in the next 2 years, 80% of online searches will be for video. Not articles, not regular written content. So start to think, if there's information that I'm trying to get out there, how can I put this into some type of video snippet and share it via social media? And I can speak from personal experience. When the power goes out or when you lose those resources, you still have your phone. As long as the cell towers are still up, you still have your phone. And so you can still get text messages from people on Twitter, your Twitter followers, saying, this is what's going on, this is the updates here, this is where resources are available, we're almost through this. That kind of information can be very comforting when you're huddled up in a closet or a small room and you have nothing else to look to. For you to be successful on Facebook, you have to be social. So you have to have an edge of care. You have to hit emotional triggers to be successful on Facebook. That's how it works. So start to think about what will resound with people. You know, the video that Mike showed was very, very powerful. You know, I started getting shivers looking at this huge tornado, and then when the power lines were hanging down over him as he was driving through it, that type of thing gets people's attention. You know, and at the end, if they said something about, you know, make sure you're prepared next time, have these things in your kit, that's all important. And then Twitter, again, this is really huge when it has to do with sending out those immediate updates. You know, tornadoes are one of those natural disasters where you don't have much advance notice, do you? You know, people of all ages can leverage this, so I don't want anyone to think that their age or their lack of prior knowledge restricts them from using social media strategically, because it really doesn't.